Hello friends, today we are going to see the diseases of sorghum. In that, we will see the different type of smuts which can cause infection to sorghum crop, and these are very important diseases. Always there is common infection of these smuts. So let's start. First we will see head smut. Causal organism responsible for head smut is Sporothorium rilinum. Second is loose smut, that is, it is also called as kernel smut, and its causal organism is Sphaerotheca cruenta. Third is long smut, its causal organism is Polyposporum eilenbergii. And last one is grain smut, also known as kernel smut, also known as cover smut or short smut. Its causal organism is Sphaerotheca sorghii or Sporothorium sorghii. Now we will study each and every smut in detail. In that, first is head smut. Causal organism Sporothorium rilinum, and the host which are required for head smuts is sorghum, jawar, bajra, that is millet, and maize. That means it is a common type of smut, occurs in cereal crops. Now we will see the symptoms of this head smut. The young head enclosed in the bud stage is usually completely replaced by large smutted galls covered by a thick whitish membrane, and the membrane soon ruptures, often before the head emerges, exposes a masses of dark brown to black powdery teleospores intermingled with a network of long, thin and dark broom-like filament of vascular tissues with characteristics witch's broom. That means the completely large smutted galls were formed with whitish color membrane, and all these structures replaces the original head that contains the grains. So this is a very important type of smut that we have to control at primary level. Here you can see the symptoms of head smut in images. Typically it affects the inflorescence and rarely it affects the foliage. The whole head turns into the smut sorus. A white peridium initially covers the sorus. Large ruptured sori reveal distinct vascular strands. And the parts of inflorescence that do not form gall usually show a blasting or proliferation of individual florets. That means the proliferation of the earheads is the particular mark of identification for head smut of sorghum. The smutted galls may also develop occasionally on the leaves and stems in some cultivars of sweet sorghum and Sudan grasses. Now you can see the spores. This is the microscopic structure of spores produced by this smutted pathogen. This smut pathogen is externally seed-borne and systemic also. The spores germinate with the seed and infect the seed by penetrating through the radicle or mesocotyl to establish the systemic infection that develops along the meristematic tissues. That means infection causes from seed stage to the development of seedlings. So they can enter into the plant system through radicle or mesocotyl and establishes the systemic infection all over the plant. At the time of flowering, the fungal hyphae get converted into the spores, which replaces the ovary with the sori. At threshing, the healthy grains become contaminated with sputted spores released from bursting of the sorus. And the spores remain dormant on the seed until the next season. So it serves as a infective propagule for next season. Grain smut, or it is also called as covered smut or short smut. Causal organism is Sphaerotheca sorghii or Sporothorium sorghii. Now we will see the symptoms of this grain smut. The individual grains are replaced by smutted sori. This point is very important. Each smut replaces its regular structure of earheads by its smutted sori. The sori are oval or cylindrical and are covered with a tough, creamy skin. It is called as peridium, and it's often persists unbroken up to the threshing. The ratoon crops exhibit higher incidence of this grain smut than the normal regular sowing crop. Loose smut. Causal organism is Sphaerotheca cruenta or Sporiferium cruenta. Now we will see the symptoms of this loose smut. The affected plants can be detected before the ears come out. They are shorter than the healthy plants with thinner stalks and marked tillering. These are the particular marks of identification for identifying the loose smut. And another marks of identification is the ears come out much earlier than the healthy. That means if there is an infection of loose smut, the normal earhead formation is much more earlier than the healthy one. The glumes are hypertrophied and the earheads gives a loose appearance than healthy one. The sorus is covered by a thin membrane which ruptures very early and exposes the spores even as the head emerges from the sheaths. So these are some particular marks of identification for loose smut of sorghum. Last one is long smut. Causal organism is Tolyposporium ehrenbergii. Here you can see the symptoms of this long smut pathogen. This disease is normally restricted to the relatively a small proportion of the florets which are scattered on the earheads. The fungal sori are usually longer than the grains. So this is the particular marks of identification to identifying the long smut infection. That is, the sori which were developed in long smut infection are much more longer than usually the grains. The sori are long, more or less cylindrical, elongated, slightly curved, longer than normal grain with relatively thick creamy brown covering membrane called as peridium. This peridium splits at the apex to release black masses of spore. That means the spores consisting of spore balls. So this serves as a infective propagule for infection. And these are found several dark brown filaments which represent the vascular bundles of the infected ovary. So these are some particular marks of identification for long smut of sorghum. Here you can see in images the whole earhead showing the infected earheads, that they can easily identify that the smutted sorus are longer than the usually grains. Now the most important point comes, that is management. Management of this all type of smuts is a very challenging job for a plant pathologist. But they can do, or they can manage, or they can control this smutted pathogen only by seed treatment with carboxin, that is Vitavax, at the rate of 2 gram per kg. So if we did the seed treatment of this chemical for before the sowing, so we can avoid the primary source of infection that is responsible for development of all these smuts pathogen. Similarly, there is the need to break the life cycle of this pathogen by following the crop rotation with another host crop. That means if we are going to see, we grow the cereal crops year after year that are responsible for development of reservoir host for the smutted pathogens. So we have to break the life cycle of this smut cycle by cultivating the another non-host specific crop. Similarly, collection of smutted earheads and destroy them outside the field, it is the physical way to control this smut at primary level. So we can follow such type of control management practices for managing the smutted pathogen. Similarly, we can also control this smutted pathogen by alternate spraying of systemic fungicides like propiconazole. Similarly, carbendazim or hexaconazole is also recommended for management of this type of smuts by spraying method. Anthracnose or red leaf spot of sorghum. It caused due to Colatrichum graminicola. This is the fungal pathogen. Now we will see the symptoms of this fungal pathogen. Here we can see in images. The fungus causes both infection to leaf spot and stalk rot. That means anthracnose on leaf spot, and on stalk it shows a reddish colored rotting in sorghum. The disease appears as small red colored spots on both surfaces of the leaf. Numerous small black dots are seen on white surface of the lesions which are containing fruiting bodies. It called as acervuli. That means Colatrichum, this is the fungal pathogen and it produces fruiting structure, and it's called as acervulus. Many lesions college and kill large leaf portions. In midrib, elongate elliptical red or purple regions with black acervuli are formed. So these are some marks of identification for identifying this anthracnose of sorghum. On stalk and inflorescence, they can easily infected and characterized externally by development of circular canker. Management of anthracnose. For management, you must have to collect and destruct the infected plant debris and collateral host and destroy them outside the field. Then crop rotation with non-host crops to break the life cycle of this Colatrichum pathogen. Similarly, we can also do the seed treatment with Captan or Thyram at the rate of 3 gram per kg. After the infection of this disease on standing crop, we can also control it by spraying with mancozeb or carbendazim 2 gram per liter dose. Grain mold of sorghum. It is the common type of mold generally observed on infected sorghum crop, which were obtained from heavily infected area that exposed to the rainfall or humid condition. If rainfall occurs during the flowering and grain filling stage, the severe grain molding can occur and it can infect all over the field. The infected grains are covered with pink or black mold, and such grains disintegrate during threshing process. Fusarium semitectum and Fusarium moniliforme develop a fluffy white or pinkish coloration. Similarly, Curvularia lunata colors the grain black. Fungi from many genera have isolated from the infected sorghum grains, and the most frequently occurring genera are Fusarium, Curvularia, Alternaria, Aspergillus, Chitomium, Rhizopus, Helminthosporium, and Phoma. Such moldy grains contains toxic mycotoxin which were developed by these fungal pathogens and are harmful for human consumption. These are unfit for cattle feed also. Here you can see in images the grains are heavily infected by these grain mold pathogens. These are composite disease and contains so many fungal pathogens were involved in grain mold disease. For management of grain mold, we have to adjust the sowing time so that we can avoid the primary infection. Similarly, we can grow resistant varieties like GMRP4, GMRP9, some tolerant varieties like CSV15. Similarly, we can also control this disease, or we can manage the seedling infection by seed disinfestation with Thyram 0.3 gram or 0.3%. Similarly, we can also control this disease by spraying with mancozeb or Captan or Aureofungin 200 ppm per liter in case of intermittent rainfall during yearhead emergence, a week later during a milky stage.